This is a simple story, but it carries a powerful lesson about life and learning. It is a story about struggle, hard work, dreams, and the truth behind a very important idea. Nothing is free in this world, not even the things that look free at first. Everything has a cost, and if you do not pay now, you will pay later. This is not a negative message, it is a message of power. When you understand that nothing is free, you also understand that your future is in your own hands. Today I will share with you the story of a boy named Arman. Arman was a simple boy from a small town with big dreams in his heart. He wanted to learn English, travel the world, and one day change his life. But like many people, he believed that success would come to him if he just waited. He often said, "Tomorrow I will start. Tomorrow I will change. Tomorrow I will work hard. Tomorrow I will learn." But tomorrow never came, because tomorrow is the favorite word of people who do not take action. One day Arman went to the city to look for a job because his father had lost his work at the factory. His family needed money, and he was the eldest son, so he had a responsibility to help. He walked from shop to shop, from office to office, but nobody gave him a chance because his English was weak. People laughed at him, some ignored him, and some told him to come back after 6 months. Arman sat on a bench near the road and felt hopeless for a moment, but he did not cry. He looked at the sky and said to himself, "I will not give up because my family needs me." He had a small amount of money in his pocket, so he went to a cheap market to buy food. There he saw a man selling old books beside the road, and one of the books caught his eye. The book was simple but powerful, and the title said, "Learn English in 100 Days." Arman picked up the book and asked the seller how much it cost. The man smiled and said, "For you it is free, my friend." Arman was surprised because nobody had ever given him anything for free in his life. He thanked the man again and again and walked away, holding the book tightly in his hand. But after a few steps, the man called him back and said, "Wait, there is something you must know. Nothing is free, not even this book. And if you take it, then you must pay me," the man said. Arman was confused and he said, "But you just told me it is free." The man laughed and said, "I did not ask for money, but I will ask for something else." Arman asked, "What do you want from me?" And the man replied, "I want your time and your commitment. If you take this book, you must promise me that you will study every day for at least 1 hour. You will not give excuses, you will not say tomorrow, and you will not stop when it becomes difficult. If you do not do this, then you must return the book to me because nothing is free." Arman thought for a moment and he realized that the man was right. If he really wanted to change his life, then he had to pay a price. The price was not money but hard work, patience, and consistency. So Arman made a promise and he said, "I will study every day. I will not stop until I can speak English." The man smiled and gave him the book and said, "Good. Now remember, nothing is free but everything is possible if you are willing to pay the price." Arman went back home with a new fire in his heart and a dream in his eyes. But when he reached home, his father asked him, "Did you find a job today?" And Arman felt ashamed. He said, "No, but I found something more important and I will show you soon." That evening, Arman opened the book and started reading the first page. The book was not easy because he did not understand many words, but he did not give up. He used a small dictionary to translate difficult words, and he practiced reading aloud again and again. Every night his friends called him to go out and spend time, but he said no because he had made a promise. He knew that he had wasted many days in his life before, but now he wanted to change his story. After 2 weeks, he finished the first chapter of the book, and he could read simple sentences in English. He felt proud of himself for the first time in a long time, and he wanted to continue. He did not have money to join a school or academy, so he used YouTube videos to practice listening. He copied the sentences from the videos and wrote them in a notebook, and repeated them many times. Sometimes he felt tired and sleepy, but he kept studying because he remembered his promise. He was not perfect, but he was improving slowly and he started to enjoy learning. One night he looked at the book and said to himself, "I did not know learning could be so beautiful. Learning is not a duty, it is a gift, and I am grateful for this chance." He closed his eyes and imagined his future, a future where he could speak confidently, help his family, and travel for work. He imagined himself in an office talking with people from other countries, and he smiled. For the first time he believed in himself. For the first time he understood that nothing is free. You must pay your price, and that price is effort, real effort, daily effort, consistent effort. Arman woke up early the next morning before sunrise. The world was still quiet and the air was cool and fresh. He sat near the small window in his room with his notebook open in front of him. Everybody in his house was still sleeping, but he did not want to lose time. He remembered his promise, so he started practicing English. He read simple sentences and repeated them again and again. "I am Arman, I am learning English. I study every day. Nothing is free." He spoke slowly at first, then faster with more confidence. He did not care if his pronunciation was not perfect. He knew that mistakes are part of learning. Many people are afraid of making mistakes, but Arman was not afraid anymore. He understood that fear was his real enemy, not English. After breakfast, his little sister Sarah looked at him and asked, "Why do you always study now? You never studied like this before." Arman smiled and said, "Because I want a better life." Sarah asked, "Will English give you a better life?" Arman replied, "English will give me more opportunities. It will open more doors. It will help me get a better job. It will connect me with the world." Then he paused and asked his sister to repeat after him. "English will give me more opportunities." At first she laughed, but then she repeated it. "English will give me more opportunities." Arman laughed too and continued, "Today is my day to improve. Repeat after me. Today is my day to improve." His sister repeated again and clapped her hands. He went outside later that morning to buy bread for the family. On the way he repeated new vocabulary words in his mind: success, practice, discipline, opportunity, confidence. He used them in small sentences. "I need discipline. I want success. This is my opportunity. I believe in myself." When people walked past him, they looked at him strangely because they heard him talking to himself in English. But Arman did not care because he had a dream now, and dreams make people different. Dreams make people strong. In the market he met a friend named Imran, who used to study with him in school. Imran asked Arman what he was doing these days. Arman said, "I am learning English and looking for a job." Imran laughed and said, "Why are you wasting your time with English? Nobody needs English in our town. Just find a simple job and forget these big dreams. Life is not a movie." Arman wanted to feel angry, but he stayed calm. He said, "Maybe you are right, but I want to try something different." Imran shook his head and said, "You are wasting your time, my friend. Nothing will change." Arman looked at him and answered, "One day you will see the result. Nothing is free and success takes time." He walked away without arguing. On his way back home, he thought about what Imran had said. Many people in life will try to stop you. Some will laugh at your dreams. Some will doubt you. Some will judge you. But you must continue. You must protect your dream. Nobody will believe in you at first, because they cannot see what you see. Only you know what is inside your heart. So never give up just because others do not understand your path. Arman repeated to himself, "Never give up." Repeat after me. Never give up. Never give up. That night he watched a video online about pronunciation. The teacher asked learners to repeat daily English sentences. Arman repeated everything loudly. "I can do it. I am learning. I will improve step by step. I am not afraid of mistakes. I believe in myself. I will speak English with confidence." He practiced for 1 hour, then 2 hours. He was tired, but he did not stop. He was not only learning English, he was training his mind. He was building discipline. Weeks passed and Arman made steady progress. He finished half of the book and his notebook was full of new vocabulary and sentences. His handwriting improved, his pronunciation improved, and even his thinking improved. Before he used to complain about life, but now he was grateful for every new day. Before he used to wait for help from others, but now he was helping himself. Before he used to believe that life was unfair, but now he believed that life rewards effort. He discovered a secret. When you start improving yourself, your life starts improving too. But life is never easy. One day his father came home with a worried face. He said the landlord is asking for rent. If we do not pay in 7 days, he will ask us to leave the house. Arman felt panic in his heart. He did not want his family to suffer. He looked at his father and said, "Do not worry. I will find a job. I will do anything. I just need some time." That night Arman did not study. He walked around outside alone, thinking about his future. He asked himself many questions. Should I stop studying and focus only on work? Should I give up my dream? He looked at the sky and said, "I made a promise. I will study every day no matter what, but I must also help my family. I will do both. I will study and I will work. People will say it is impossible, but I will prove they are wrong." The next day he searched for part-time jobs. Finally he found work at a small tea shop near the bus station. The salary was very low, but he accepted it because he needed the money. He worked from morning till evening, carrying cups, cleaning tables, and washing dishes. It was hard work. His hands became rough and his feet hurt every night. Sometimes people shouted at him for no reason, but he stayed calm. He remembered that nothing is free. Every dream has a price. Every goal has a sacrifice. If he wanted a better life, he had to earn it. After work, he went home tired, but he still studied. He read his book while eating dinner. He listened to English videos while washing clothes. He practiced speaking while walking to work in the morning. He used every minute of his time because he knew that time is life. If you waste time, you waste life. Some days he felt exhausted. Some days he thought about quitting. But he never stopped. When people sleep, champions train. When people complain, champions practice. When people give up, champions continue. Arman decided that he would not live like everyone else. He would live like a champion. One evening after work, he met a foreign tourist at the tea shop. The tourist asked him, "Excuse me, can you tell me where I can find a taxi?" The other workers at the shop did not understand him, but Arman understood. He smiled and said, "Yes, sir, the taxi stand is near the bus station. Walk straight and then turn left." The tourist was happy and said, "Thank you. Your English is good." Arman felt proud. It was a small moment, but for him it was a big victory. It was proof that his hard work was working. He went home that night and wrote in his notebook, "Today, for the first time in my life, someone told me my English is good." This is only the beginning. He looked in the mirror and said, "I am proud of myself. I am not perfect, but I am improving. I am not fast, but I am consistent. I will never stop learning. I will never stop growing. I will never stop believing." Repeat after me. I will never stop learning. I will never stop growing. I will never stop believing. You must believe in yourself even when nobody else does. You must encourage yourself even when you feel alone. You must trust the process. The process is slow, but the results are real. Arman continued working at the tea shop and studying English every day. Some mornings felt heavier than others, and some nights were longer than he wished. But he did not allow himself to break his promise. His routine was simple but powerful. Work, study, sleep, repeat. While others wasted time, he was building his future. While others complained, he was improving himself. Every day he moved a little closer to his dreams. One day a new challenge arrived. The owner of the tea shop, Mr. Khan, watched Arman carefully for a few days. He noticed that Arman spoke politely to the customers and always worked hard. He never came late and never created problems. Mr. Khan respected that. One evening he called Arman and said, "You seem like a smart boy. Why are you working here? What is your story?" Arman told him everything. He said, "My family has financial problems and I need to earn money. I am also learning English because I want a better future." Mr. Khan smiled and said, "That is good. Keep studying. Education is never a waste." Then he asked, "Why do you want to learn English?" Arman replied. Because English is a door to opportunity. If I learn English, I can get a better job and help my family. Mr. Khan listened and nodded slowly. Then he said, "You are right. Nothing is free in life. Everything has a price. But if you work hard and stay patient, life will reward you." From that day, Mr. Khan respected Arman even more. But not everyone was happy about it. One of the other workers, Bilal, felt jealous. He was older than Arman and had been working at the tea shop for years. He did not like that Mr. Khan praised Arman, so he started making fun of Arman's English. When Arman practiced speaking, Bilal laughed and said, "Are you trying to be American? Do you think you are better than us?" Arman never argued. He kept silent and continued his work. But inside he knew that jealousy is a disease. When people cannot improve themselves, they attack those who try. One day, Bilal pushed Arman too far. Arman was helping a customer in English when Bilal shouted loudly, "Look, everyone! Arman is teaching English now. Maybe next week he will become a professor." The customers laughed and Arman felt embarrassed, but he stayed calm. He smiled and said, "Maybe one day, who knows?" That answer made Bilal even more angry. He wanted Arman to lose control, but Arman did not fall into his trap. Instead, he told himself, "Stay focused. Do not waste your energy on negative people. Water your own garden. Grow your own life." Later that night, when Arman returned home, he sat down to study as always. But his heart felt heavy. He thought about what Bilal said and he wondered, why do people hate when others try to improve? Why do people laugh at learners instead of learning themselves? Then he remembered something the bookseller once told him. Weak people criticize, strong people build. Arman smiled and whispered to himself, "I choose to be strong." Days turned into weeks and Arman continued his journey. He finished the English book completely. It took him 64 days, but he did what he promised. He returned to the old bookseller in the city and said, "I have finished the book." The old man looked at him proudly and asked, "And did you keep your promise? Did you study every day?" Arman answered, "Yes. I did not miss a single day." The old man smiled and said, "Good. So now you understand that nothing is free. Even knowledge has a price." Arman nodded and said, "The price is time and discipline." The old man replied, "Correct. Now your next challenge begins. You must use your English to grow. Reading is not enough. Speaking is not enough. Listening is not enough. You must use your English to change your life." Arman stood there thinking deeply. He had completed step 1, but the journey was not over. In fact, it had only just begun. He needed a plan. He needed a vision. He needed a way to move forward. So he asked the old man for advice. The man said simple, surround yourself with English. Live in English. Think in English. Speak in English. Do not study English as a subject. Use it as a tool to build your dream. Arman thanked the man and went home full of motivation. He bought a used English newspaper from a street seller and started reading one article every day. At first, he understood only half of the words, but he kept going. He wrote difficult words in his notebook and translated them. Slowly, he built his vocabulary. He also started watching English news videos, not because he liked the news, but because he wanted to improve his listening. He repeated sentences from the reporters and practiced pronunciation. Slowly, his English became smoother and more natural. One day, while serving tea, he heard a group of college students discussing a part-time computer course. They were talking in English, and he could understand most of what they said. They said the course would teach basic computer skills and writing, including email and typing in English. Arman listened carefully. Computer skills plus English. That was exactly what he needed. He saved money for 2 weeks, and finally he had enough to join the course. The fee was small, but it was difficult for him. He had to spend most of his earnings to join. But he remembered the rule. Nothing is free. Everything has a price. So he paid the fee and enrolled. The first week of the course was difficult. Most of the students were younger than Arman. Some of them spoke better English. Some of them had used computers before. Arman felt behind at first, but he did not compare himself to others. He knew that comparison kills progress. The only person he wanted to beat was who he was yesterday. So he worked harder. He arrived before class started and stayed after class to practice more. When the teacher gave homework, Arman did extra. When other students talked and wasted time, Arman focused. Every night he slept only 5 hours because he had no time. He worked at the tea shop during the day, studied English in the evening, and went to his computer class at night. Some people told him, "You are pushing yourself too much. You should rest." But Arman said, "This is my time to build. Later I will rest. Now I must work for my future. Sacrifice today, success tomorrow." After a month he could type fast and write short emails in English. He could introduce himself in a professional way and help others too. The teacher noticed his hard work, and one day he said, "Arman, I want to recommend you for an internship. It is not paid, but you will gain experience. Are you interested?" Arman did not even think twice. "Yes, sir, I am interested. Experience is more important than money right now." The teacher smiled proudly. "That is the right attitude. Come tomorrow and I will give you the details." When Arman left the classroom that night, he stood outside alone for a moment. He looked at the sky and said, "Thank you. Thank you for giving me strength." Arman walked home that night with new hope inside him. An internship might not give him money, but it would give him experience and skills. And skills are more valuable than money because skills create money. When he reached home, his father asked him why he was smiling. Arman said, "I got an internship. It is not a job yet, but it is a step toward my future." His father looked confused and asked, "But if it does not pay, why are you happy?" Arman answered, "Because it will help me grow." His father looked at him for a long moment and then said, "I do not understand everything you say, but I can see that you are changing. You have become stronger. Keep going. We are proud of you." Those words touched Arman's heart. He had always wanted to make his parents proud, and now for the first time he felt like he was doing something meaningful. The next day he went to meet the teacher for internship details. The teacher gave him a paper with the company name and address. It was a small office in the city that worked with online customers from different countries. They needed someone who could write simple emails in English and manage customer messages. Arman knew this was a great opportunity to use English in real life. The teacher said, "Remember, Arman, this is not a paid job yet. If you work well, they may offer you a salary later, but you must prove yourself first." Arman nodded and said, "I understand. Nothing is free. I'm ready to work." He went to the office for an interview. He wore his cleanest shirt, combed his hair, and stood tall with confidence. When he entered the office, he saw 6 other people waiting for the same internship. Some were dressed better than him. Some spoke English fluently. He felt a little nervous, but he remembered, the only thing I must control is myself. Stay calm, believe, do your best. The manager called him in. She asked him simple questions. "Tell me about yourself. Why do you want this internship? Can you write emails in English?" Arman answered honestly. He said, "I am not perfect, but I work hard, I learn fast, and I never give up. I want to grow, and I am ready to pay the price for success." The manager liked his attitude. She gave him a test. He had to write emails to 2 customers. One customer had a complaint, and the other wanted information. Arman wrote slowly but carefully. He checked his grammar twice before submitting. 20 minutes later, the manager returned and said, "You can start from tomorrow. Welcome to the team." At that moment, Arman felt like shouting with joy. He thanked her again and walked out with a big smile. But now life became even more difficult. Arman had 3 responsibilities at the same time. He worked at the tea shop from morning to afternoon, went to his internship in the evening, and studied English at night. He barely slept. He missed family dinners. He had no time to meet friends. But he did not complain because he had a mission. He knew this was the price of success. Many people want success, but they are not willing to sacrifice for it. Arman was different. He was hungry for growth. He was ready to suffer now to live better later. At the office, Arman worked hard. He listened carefully, took notes, and asked questions. He learned about email writing, customer service, and professional communication. He improved his English every day by reading messages from foreign clients. At first, he made mistakes, but he learned from them. The manager praised his progress and said, "Good work, Arman. You are learning fast. Keep it up." That small compliment gave him more motivation to continue. Every night he practiced English sentences like these: "I will become successful. I will improve my skills. I control my future. I believe in myself. Repeat after me. I control my future. I believe in myself." But Arman was not perfect. He faced problems. One day he arrived late to the internship because the tea shop was very busy, and he could not leave on time. The manager was not happy. She said, "This is a professional place. If you want to stay, you must respect time. This is your warning. Do not be late again." Arman apologized and promised it would not happen again. He realized that success demands discipline, not sometimes but always. No excuses. No laziness. Consistency wins. Another problem came from his health. Because he slept very little, he often felt tired. Some days his eyes burned and his head hurt. But he reminded himself pain is temporary. Growth is permanent. Winners do not quit, so he kept going. He ate simple food, drank water, and pushed through his tiredness. He told himself, "I am stronger than my excuses. I am stronger than my weakness." Repeat after me. I am stronger than my excuses. One day, something special happened. The manager called Arman and asked him to help a new intern. His name was Farhan, and he did not have much confidence. He was afraid to speak English and often stayed quiet. Arman decided to help him. He said to Farhan, "Do not worry about mistakes. Mistakes are your teachers. Speak slowly and clearly. You will improve. Practice with me." Day by day, Arman helped Farhan write better emails and speak with more confidence. After a week, the manager said, "Arman, you are doing good work. You are not only learning, you are helping others." That is leadership. Arman felt proud of himself. He never thought of himself as a leader before, but now he understood something important. Leadership is not about having a position or a title. Leadership is about helping others grow. While working with Farhan, Arman discovered something new. Teaching English helped him improve his own English even more. When he explained grammar rules or corrected sentences, he learned better. When he spoke slowly for Farhan, his own pronunciation became clearer. When he motivated Farhan, he motivated himself. Helping others helped him grow. That is one of the secrets of life. When you give, you receive. When you teach, you learn. When you help others, you help yourself. 2 months passed. Arman became one of the best interns in the office. He still worked at the tea shop, but now he dreamed of leaving that job one day. He wanted to work full-time in a professional office. He wanted to build a career. He wanted to become someone his family could depend on. But dreams need action, so he made a decision. He would apply for real jobs now. He had enough experience to try. He updated his simple CV and wrote his first professional introduction. "Hello, my name is Arman. I am a hard-working and motivated person with experience in customer communication and email support. I am learning English and improving my skills every day. I am looking for an opportunity to grow and contribute to a company. Thank you for your time." He practiced this many times until it sounded natural. He sent job applications to 10 companies, then 20, then 30. Some companies did not reply. Some rejected him, but he did not stop. He knew rejection is part of the journey. Every no brings you closer to a yes. He stayed positive and kept trying. One night he looked in the mirror and said to himself, "I am not giving up. I am not slowing down. My time is coming." Then one evening during his internship, the manager called him again. She said, "Arman, I have good news. The company has decided to offer you a paid position. It is a junior support job. The salary is not very high, but it is a start. Do you want it?" Arman could not believe his ears. After so many days of hard work, sacrifice, and discipline, his first real job offer had finally arrived. He smiled and said, "Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I will not let you down." Arman left the office and closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered his journey, the day he found the old English book, the promise he made, the tea shop, the difficult days, the sacrifices, the nights with no sleep, the people who laughed, the people who doubted, and now finally a real step forward. He did not become successful by luck. He earned it. He paid the price. Because nothing is free, but everything is possible when you never give up. Repeat after me. I will never give up. I will keep going. I will build my future. Nothing is free, but everything is possible. Arman went home that night with tears in his eyes, but they were not tears of sadness. They were tears of gratitude, tears of victory. He had walked a long and difficult road to reach this moment. He knocked on the door and his mother opened it. She saw his face and asked with worry, "Is everything okay?" Arman did not answer at first. He just hugged her tightly. Then he said, "Amy, I got a real job. A professional job." His mother's eyes filled with tears too, and she called the whole family. They sat together and listened to Arman as he told them everything. When he finished, his father placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "You made us proud, son. You worked hard, and today your hard work spoke for you. Never stop. This is just the beginning." Arman nodded. He knew it was true. This was not the end. This was the start of a new chapter. The next day, Arman went to Mr. Khan, the tea shop owner, to tell him he could no longer work there. Mr. Khan smiled gently and said, "I knew this day would come. You were never meant to stay here forever. I am happy for you. But before you go, I want to tell you something. Do not change who you are. Stay humble. Remember your struggles. Remember where you came from. Success can make people forget their past. Do not be one of them." Arman promised, "I will never forget, sir. Thank you for giving me a chance when nobody else did." Mr. Khan shook his hand proudly and said, "Go now. The future is waiting." At his new job, Arman worked with people from different cities and countries. Every day he used English at work. He wrote emails, attended meetings, and helped customers online. At first he felt nervous because everything was new. But he learned quickly. He asked questions whenever he did not understand something. He took notes. He practiced after work. Soon the manager trusted him with more responsibility. He was no longer just another worker. He was building a career. But with a new job came new challenges. His English was improving, but he still had trouble understanding fast speakers. Sometimes he misunderstood a customer and made mistakes. One day a customer complained because Arman wrote an unclear email. The manager called him into her office and said, "Arman, you have potential, but you must improve your communication. Do not rush. Write clearly. Think before you send. This job is not about English only. It is about understanding people." Arman listened carefully and promised to do better. That night he stayed late at work to review his emails. He created his own writing rule. Simple, clear, polite. That became his style. Outside of work, Arman did not stop learning. He continued studying English at night and listening to podcasts in the morning. He watched English movies with subtitles to improve his vocabulary. He read English books to understand grammar naturally. He turned learning into a lifestyle. English was no longer just a subject for him. It became part of his daily life. He lived in English. Slowly his confidence grew. He started speaking more in meetings. He shared ideas. He asked questions. People began to notice him. One of his senior colleagues told him, "You are improving fast." "What is your secret?" Arman smiled and replied, "No secret. Just daily practice. One step every day. That is how mountains are climbed." Then something interesting happened. One day the manager asked Arman if he could train 2 new employees. They needed help learning how to handle customers through email. Arman agreed. He remembered how Farhan had improved when he helped him. So he followed the same method. He spoke slowly, explained clearly, and encouraged the new workers. After the training, one of them told him, "Thank you. You are a good teacher." Arman had never heard those words before, but they touched his heart. Maybe one day I can teach English too, he thought. But life is a test, and tests come when you least expect them. One day, Arman received a call from home. His father had fallen sick at work. He had weak health already from years of hard labor. Arman rushed to the hospital. His father lay on the bed looking tired and weak. The doctor said he needs rest and medicine. He cannot work for some time. Arman knew what that meant. His family needed him now more than ever. The rent, food, bills, medicine, everything was now his responsibility. For a moment, fear entered his heart. What if I fail? What if I lose my job? What if I cannot handle everything? But then he remembered his journey. He remembered the promise he made. He remembered that nothing is free, and that included strength. You earn strength by facing challenges, not running from them. He held his father's hand and said, "Do not worry, Abba. I will take care of everything. You just rest. I will handle it." His father smiled weakly and said, "I know you will, son. You are stronger than you think." From that day, Arman worked even harder. He worked overtime whenever he got the chance. He took freelance writing work online at night to earn extra money. It was tiring, but he kept going. Whenever he felt weak, he repeated to himself, "I am stronger than my problems. I am bigger than my fears. I will not give up." One night while writing emails for a foreign client, Arman thought of something. Many young people in his town wanted to learn English, but they did not have money for academies or courses. He remembered how he had studied using YouTube, books, and free resources. He thought, why not help others who are also struggling? Why not share what I learned? He decided to start a small English club in his neighborhood. Anyone could join for free, but with one rule. They must promise to study daily. Nothing is free. If they wanted to join, they had to pay with discipline. On the first day, only 3 people came. His sister Sarah, his friend Farhan, and a schoolboy named Rayhan. Arman taught them simple sentences and daily practice methods. He taught them not only English, but also the right mindset. He said hard work beats talent. Consistency beats motivation. Do not say I cannot. Say I will try. Do not say I am shy. Say I will improve. The next week, more people joined. Soon the English club grew to 15 students. People started calling Arman Sir. It felt strange at first, but it made him proud too. Years passed. Yes, years. Because success is not a race. It is a journey. Arman continued to work, study, and teach. His English became strong. His confidence grew. His salary increased. His family's life improved. He helped his father get better treatment. He paid his sister's school fees. He bought better things for his home, not because he was lucky, but because he worked for it. Then one day, Arman received an email that changed everything. It was from an international company. They had found his profile online and wanted to interview him for a remote job. The salary was more than anything he had ever imagined. The job required English, computer skills, and customer service experience, all the things he had learned over the years. He went for the interview and used everything he had learned. He spoke clearly, confidently, and honestly. A week later, he received the result. He got the job. He could not believe it. He had started with nothing. No money, no skills, no opportunities, just a dream and a promise. And now his dream had come true. But he knew one thing very clearly. This was not magic. This was not a miracle. This was the result of hard work, patience, and sacrifice. Repeat after me. Dreams do not work unless you do. Success is earned, not given. Nothing is free in life, but everything is possible. Pay the price. Stay consistent. Never give up. Arman was now working for an international company, earning more than he had ever dreamed. He could work from home, choose his own hours, and build a better life for his family. But life still had more lessons for him, because true success is not just about earning money. It is about growing as a person and helping others grow too. Even after getting the new job, Arman did not stop teaching free English classes in his neighborhood. In fact, he expanded his English club. What began as a small group of 3 students had now grown into more than 50 learners. People from different backgrounds joined. College students, job seekers, shopkeepers, housewives, and even taxi drivers. Every evening, Arman stood in front of them and taught with passion. One day, a student asked him, "Sir, why do you teach us for free? You could easily make money from this." Arman smiled and replied, "Because someone helped me when I had nothing. Mr. Khan gave me a job. Farhan helped me study. My family believed in me and God opened doors for me. So now it is my turn to give back." Knowledge grows when you share it. But as the club grew, so did the criticism. Some people in his community began to question him. Why is he doing this? He must be getting money from somewhere. He is showing off. He is wasting time. These poor people will never learn English. Arman heard all these comments. At first they hurt him. He wondered why people criticize good work. But then he remembered something his father once said. When you try to rise, people will try to pull you down, not because you are wrong, but because they are afraid of your growth. So Arman ignored the negativity and stayed focused. He told his students the same. Do not listen to people who laugh at your dreams. They are not your teachers. They are not your supporters. They are not writing your future. You are. One evening, Arman shared a dream with his students. I want to create something big, an online English academy for people like us. For people who have dreams but no opportunities. For people who want to learn but cannot afford expensive courses. I will teach English in a simple way. Real English. English that changes lives. The students were excited, but dreams require action. So Arman began planning. He wrote lessons, created exercises, and recorded his voice teaching simple English conversations. But there was one problem. He did not know how to make videos or how to post them online. So he searched on YouTube and watched tutorials. He learned video editing step by step. It was difficult at first, but Arman had learned the most powerful rule of success. You can learn anything if you are willing to struggle for it. After a week of hard work, he posted his first English lesson online. He waited. 1 day passed. 2 days, 3, only 12 views. One of his neighbors laughed and said, "Only 12 views? This is useless. You're wasting your time." But Arman was not discouraged. He said every master was once a beginner. Every success starts small. He posted the second video, then the third, then the 10th. Slowly, the views increased. 50, 100, 300, 700 people began commenting. "Thank you, sir. I finally understand English tenses. Your teaching style is simple. Please continue. Sir, I am from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria. Thank you for helping us." Arman realized something powerful. The world needs teachers who care. The world needs people who help others rise. And those who help others rise even higher. But with growth came another challenge. One day, Arman received a message that crushed him. YouTube had removed 2 of his videos due to copyright music he had used in the background by mistake. He lost motivation. What is the point? He thought. I work so hard and I still make mistakes. That night he looked at his old notebook, the one where he had written his goals years ago. On the last page he found something he had written a long time ago. Do not give up when it gets hard. That's when winners are made. He closed the notebook and smiled. Growth requires sacrifice to grow his academy. Arman needed better equipment, good internet, a microphone, a better phone camera, all things that cost money. At the same time, his family still needed financial support. His sister's university admission fee was due soon, and his father's medical expenses were increasing. So he made a decision. He would not buy new clothes or eat outside. He would not waste money on entertainment. Instead, he saved every extra rupee he earned. It took 4 months, but finally, he bought everything he needed to upgrade his online teaching setup. This is how real success works. You sacrifice comfort. You invest in your future. You build when no one is watching. A message to you before we move forward, pause and reflect. Do you complain about your situation or do you work to change it? Do you wait for someone to help you or do you help yourself? Do you quit easily or do you fight until you win? Repeat these lines aloud. I am not weak, and my dreams are possible, and I will not give up. I will rise, step by step. Arman continued building his online English academy step by step. He was no longer afraid of challenges. He had faced failure, rejection, poverty, and self-doubt, and he had survived. But most importantly, he had grown. He now understood one of the deepest truths of life. Success is not something you get for free. Success is something you build with your own hands, with your own time, and with your own belief. His YouTube channel began to grow slowly. He reached 1,000 subscribers, then 5,000, then 10,000. People began messaging him from different countries, thanking him for helping them learn English. One of his students named Amina, who was a housewife and mother of 3, messaged him and said that because of his videos, she was now confident enough to speak English with her children and help them with their schoolwork. She wrote, I used to feel like I was not smart enough. I felt embarrassed when people spoke English, but now I know I can learn anything I want. Thank you for giving me hope. Another student named Fahad wrote from Dubai saying, Sir, because of your daily practice videos, I passed my job interview. I am now working as a supervisor. My salary has doubled and I am able to support my family. You changed my life. These messages made Arman smile. He realized something important. A teacher does not just teach words. A real teacher gives courage. A real teacher lights a fire inside people, and that fire can change lives. One day while checking his emails, Arman received an invitation from an international education conference in Karachi. They wanted him to speak as a guest about his journey of learning English and inspiring others. When Arman read the email, he froze. Him speaking at a conference? In front of hundreds of people? He felt nervous. He had never spoken on a stage before. Speaking English on camera was one thing, but speaking live was another. He almost wrote a reply saying, Sorry, I cannot attend. But then he remembered a lesson he had taught many times. Growth begins outside your comfort zone. So he took a deep breath and replied, Yes, I would be honored to speak at your conference. The day of the conference came. Arman wore his best shirt, the same one he had worn during his job interview with Mr. Khan years ago. He stood backstage, his hands cold. His heart was racing. He closed his eyes and whispered, I can do this. When his name was announced on stage, he walked out. The hall was full. Teachers, students, business people, and English learners were all watching him. For a moment he felt fear, but then something beautiful happened. He looked into the crowd and thought of all the people he was teaching online. He thought of Amina. He thought of Fahad. He thought of his father who always said, never stop trying. And suddenly his fear disappeared. He began speaking. He told them about his small town and how people laughed at his dreams. He told them about the old man who gave him the English book and said that nothing is free. He shared how he studied 1 hour every day, even when he was tired and hungry. He spoke about rejection, struggle, and pain. And then he spoke about hope. He said the world does not give success for free, but the world gives opportunity to those who are willing to pay the price. You do not need to be rich. You do not need to be a genius. All you need is hunger. Hunger to learn. Hunger to grow. Hunger to become better than you were yesterday. We all have dreams, but dreams only come true when we take action. One day at a time. One step at a time. One lesson at a time. When he finished speaking, the hall was silent for a second. Then people began to clap. Then they stood up and gave him a standing ovation. Arman felt tears in his eyes, but he held them back. He did not speak for applause. He spoke for those who needed to hear the truth. Those who still believed they could not change their lives. Those who were ready to give up. He spoke for them. After the event, a group of college students came to him and asked for a selfie. One of them said, Sir, your story gives us hope. We also come from small towns. People make fun of us, but now we know that we can do something big." Another teacher approached him and said, "Your message is powerful. I want to invite you to my school to speak to our students. They need someone like you, someone real." That evening, Arman returned home tired but happy. When he opened his phone, he saw a voice message from his father. His father said, "My son, I heard your speech. Today you made not only me but our entire family proud. Your journey was not easy, but you never gave up. I am proud of the man you have become. I always believed in you." Arman listened to that voice message again and again. He remembered the days when his father was worried about money, the days when their home had no electricity, the days when his mother saved coins to buy rice. And now here they were. Life was changing, slowly but beautifully. Later that night, Arman sat alone on the rooftop again. He looked at the stars and said, "Thank you, God. I still have a long way to go, but I will never stop learning." He opened his notebook and wrote a new goal. This time it was bigger than any goal before. He wrote, "I will build the biggest free English learning platform in the world. A platform for people who want to learn but cannot pay. A platform for dreamers." But then he stopped writing and smiled. He knew what he had to add. Under that line he wrote, "Nothing is free. I will pay the price." And once again the journey continued. Before we move on, repeat after me. I will not stop. I will not fear. I will not give up. My dreams belong to me. Nothing is free. I will pay the price. Arman now had students in more than 20 countries. His YouTube channel reached 100,000 subscribers, then 200,000, then 500,000. People from different parts of the world continued sending him messages every day. Some said his lessons helped them pass interviews. Some said they gained confidence to speak English for the first time. Some said his story gave them courage to fight for their dreams. But as his success grew, life brought new challenges. People began to ask him for more content, more lessons, more motivation. He received hundreds of messages a day and could not reply to everyone. He felt pressure. He felt tired. But he never forgot his promise. He wanted to help people learn English and change their lives just like he did. One night, while working late, he received a message from the same old man who once gave him the book beside the road. The message said, "I am proud of you. You paid the real price. Do not stop. Keep going. Your journey has just begun." Arman smiled. He remembered that day clearly. The book was not really free. The book was a test of commitment. And today, he finally understood the deeper meaning behind those words. Nothing is free. Not books, not dreams, not success, not growth. Everything has a cost. Every skill you learn costs time. Every dream you chase costs energy. Every goal you achieve costs effort. Nothing is free, but everything is possible if you are willing to pay the price with your time, your focus, and your discipline. Arman decided to take his free English academy to the next level. He began live stream classes on weekends, so students could ask questions in real time. He started a speaking challenge that helped people practice English daily. Then he began a series called English for Life, where he taught real-life English that people could use in jobs, interviews, and travel. But even then, he was not satisfied. He wanted to give more. So he started a new program called Change Your Life with English. It was more than grammar and vocabulary. It was about building confidence, setting goals, developing strong habits, and changing your mindset. Because Arman believed that English alone could not change your life, but the person you become while learning it could. Meanwhile, his village still remembered him. People who once laughed at him now respected him. Some even apologized for not believing in him. But Arman did not hold any anger. He did not seek revenge. Instead, he helped them. He built a small learning center in his village with books, internet access, and classes for free. Students who had no hope now had a place to learn. Parents who once thought English was only for rich people now sat beside their children and learned together. His own father, who once could not speak a word of English, now proudly introduced himself to guests by saying, "My name is Ibrahim. I am learning English one day." While Arman was teaching a class, a little boy walked up to him and asked, "Sir, what is the secret of success?" Arman looked at him and said, "There is no secret. But there is a truth." The boy asked, "What is the truth?" Arman replied, "The truth is simple. Success is not about luck. It is about work, real work, consistent work, daily work. It is about believing in yourself when nobody else does. It is about waking up every day and choosing your dream again and again. It is about doing small things every day that move you forward." The boy listened carefully and said, "But sir, what if I fail?" Arman smiled and said, "Then try again. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success." These words became one of the key lessons in his academy. He repeated them again and again, and today I repeat them for you. No matter who you are, no matter where you are from, no matter how weak your English is right now, no matter how many times you have failed before, you can change your life. You can learn English. You can build your future. But you must be ready to pay the price: time, focus, patience, and effort. Maybe you do not have good English today. Maybe people laugh at your pronunciation. Maybe you feel shy, scared, or confused. Maybe you feel like giving up. But listen carefully. Your story is not over. This is not the end. This is only the beginning. If Arman can do it, if millions of learners around the world can do it, then you can do it too. Yes, it will take time. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, you will make mistakes. But every mistake you make will teach you something new. Every challenge you face will make you stronger. Every day you practice will bring you closer to your dream. So today, make a decision. Decide that you will no longer wait for luck. Decide that you will no longer make excuses. Decide that you will no longer say tomorrow. Decide that you will start now, right now. Speak English. Read English. Listen to English. Live in English. Make English a part of your life. And remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible. Now repeat after me. I choose to learn. I choose to grow. I choose to fight for my dreams. I choose to practice every day. I choose discipline. I choose progress. I choose my future. Nothing is free. I will pay the price, and I will win. This is your journey now. Your story, your time. Believe in yourself. Keep learning. Keep moving. Keep growing. Your future is waiting.